Hey everyone, ready for the inside scoop on Sky Gold?
Oh, absolutely.
We're diving deep into their Q2 performance for fiscal year 25.
And trust me, this is one you won't want to miss.
We've got a ton of great material to dig into. We've got investor questions all prepped for this deep dive, official company announcements, and even a presentation made for investors and analysts.
Sounds comprehensive.
And here's the kicker. Sky Gold just smashed their previous records for both quarterly revenue and profit.
Wow, that's impressive. It's not just growth, though. It's a major shift happening in the jewelry market.
Right.
And Sky Gold is in a perfect position to really capitalize on this huge and growing demand we're seeing for organized retail jewelry, especially in India.
Okay, so let's back up for a sec. For those who might not be familiar, what exactly does Sky Gold do?
Sure, so Sky Gold designs and makes gold jewelry.
Okay,
They mostly focus on those CZ and plain gold pieces.
gotcha.
Now, their tagline is global expertise, regional designs,
I like that.
which kind of gives you a little hint about how ambitious they are, right?
Right.
And speaking of ambitious, their revenue from operations, it jumped a massive 94.2% year over year
Wow.
to a whopping 768.8 crores.
That's incredible.
But hold on, it gets even better. Their profit after tax, that surged by, get this,
Yeah.
405.2%.
Hold on. 405%.
Yeah, to hit 36.7 crores. It's remarkable.
It's insane.
This kind of growth, though, it's not just luck. Sky Gold's strategically riding this wave of change we're seeing in how people buy jewelry.
So what's driving these huge numbers?
Well, like I said, they're laser focused on that organized retail market, which is already massive,
Huge.
and it's only going to grow even larger.
That's what we like to hear.
Consumers today, they want transparency, they want some assurance,
Yeah.
and they want a modern retail experience. And Sky Gold's delivering on all fronts.
So how are they doing that?
Well, they're offering competitive gold rates, for one.
Okay.
They've got clear benchmarking for their making charges.
So no hidden surprises.
Exactly. No hidden surprises there. And they're really known for understanding what their customers want.
They've also been making some strategic acquisitions.
Oh, yeah. They've been busy.
They just picked up Star Mangalsutra Private Limited and Sparkling Chains Private Limited.
Those acquisitions, genius.
Yeah.
Pure genius.
Yeah.
First, it diversifies their portfolio, right?
Yeah.
Giving them access to those booming Mangalsutra and chain markets.
Smart.
Second, it boosts their production capacity by a massive 300 kilograms per month.
Wow. Talk about scaling up.
Right.
And to fuel all of this, they just successfully raised, how much was it? 270 crores
270 crores, yep.
through a qualified institutional placement,
Or QIP.
UIP. This means they've attracted serious investment.
Definitely. It's a huge vote of confidence from some major financial institutions.
Absolutely. So what are they planning to do with all this cash?
Well, they've got big plans.
Now,
Expanding their product line, particularly in the 18K gold and diamond jewelry categories. They're also setting their sights on international markets,
oh, really? Where are they looking?
particularly the Middle East and Southeast Asia. And they're even thinking about more acquisitions down the road.
Wow. Sounds like they're not slowing down anytime soon.
Not even a little bit.
And they've laid out this Sky Gold Vision 2.0, which aims for a jaw-dropping revenue of, 6,300 crores by FY27.
You got it.
That's
Yeah.
ambitious is an understatement.
It is incredibly ambitious. But their financials and their return ratios suggest they might just pull it off.
They've been doing well.
Their return on equity, their ROE, think of it as how effectively they're using their investments to generate profit, right?
Right.
That, along with their ROCE, which is how well they're using all their capital, they've both been steadily climbing, you know?
That's good to see.
It shows they're not just growing, they're growing smartly.
Yeah, so it's not just expanding for the sake of it.
No.
They're being strategic and making sure each move strengthens their overall financial position.
Exactly. And here's where things get really interesting. They've actually outsourced a lot of their production.
Wait, hold on. Outsourcing production for a brand known for craftsmanship. How does that even work?
It's actually a strategic advantage. It allows them to maintain a higher return on capital employed
I see.
by not tying up all their capital in massive manufacturing facilities.
Yeah.
They can use those resources for, other growth initiatives.
Like those acquisitions and international expansion we talked about.
Exactly.
So it's not just about making jewelry.
No.
It's about making smart financial decisions that set them up for even more growth. But doesn't outsourcing come with risks?
Of course.
Like losing control over quality?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
But that's where their global expertise regional designs tagline really comes into play. You see, they've built this network of carefully selected partners,
Hmm.
and they all meet their really high standards.
Oh, okay.
They're monitoring every step, too, just to ensure that each piece lives up to the Sky Gold name.
Yeah.
It's like having the best of both worlds, right? The agility and cost-effectiveness of outsourcing with the quality control of, in-house production.
That's a really smart approach. But as they scale up, can they really keep that level of quality consistent across a much larger operation?
That's the key question.
And how do they make sure they don't lose that, that Sky Gold touch when so much is being done outside the company?
Those are the questions,
Mm-hmm.
and ones that we'll dive into a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
Maintaining that quality control and that brand consistency while scaling so rapidly, that's a challenge. But Sky Gold? Well, they seem to be very aware of the tightrope they're walking.
Yeah, so there are definitely challenges ahead, but they also seem to have a pretty solid plan in place. They're making smart moves to fuel growth, but they're also keeping a close eye on their financial health and their brand reputation.
Exactly. They're expanding aggressively, sure,
Yeah.
but also thoughtfully. They're trying to hit that sweet spot,
Yeah.
between growth and stability.
For sure. Okay, so we've got a good picture of their overall performance and some of the key strategies they're using.
Right.
But to really understand their position, I think we need to dig a little deeper into their market dominance.
Absolutely. What strategies are they using to really outmaneuver the competition? What are those key factors that have allowed them to capture such a big piece of the market? Those are the questions we need to answer next.
Well, one key factor is they're laser focused on that organized retail market.
Right.
Remember, they're not just selling gold, they're selling an experience,
Yeah.
a brand
Right.
that resonates with today's consumer.
So they're tapping into that growing consumer preference for transparency,
Mhm.
assurance, and a more, modern retail experience.
Exactly. Think about it. They offer competitive gold rates, clear benchmarking on making charges,
Right.
no hidden surprises there.
Makes sense?
Plus, they have this fantastic focus on regional designs,
Right.
ensuring their inventory truly caters to the diverse tastes across India.
That makes sense. India has such a wide range of cultural preferences.
Yeah,
It's smart to cater to those specific regional style.
it's more than just smart. It's essential. They're recognizing that jewelry in India isn't just an adornment.
It's deeply intertwined with cultural identity and tradition.
Yeah, and from the materials we have, it looks like they're not stopping at design.
No, they're not.
They're also knocking it out of the park when it comes to service.
Definitely.
100% exchange value assurance, cutting-edge technology in their stores,
Yeah.
a real dedication to customer knowledge. I mean, they're going above and beyond.
All of that builds trust, which
Mhm.
is absolutely paramount in a market where reputation is everything.
Yeah,
They're not just going for the quick sale. They're building lasting relationships with their customers.
I see what you mean. Okay, so they've got this compelling brand. They're
Right.
offering great service,
Right.
but they also need the capacity to meet that growing demand, right?
Right. And that's where their manufacturing strategy comes in.
Okay.
Now, we've already talked about how they've cleverly outsourced a big chunk of their production,
Right.
but it's worth highlighting how this ties into their overall dominance.
You mean by freeing up capital to focus on other areas of growth?
Exactly. It's like a strategic judo move. They're using their competitors' weight against them.
Interesting.
While others are investing heavily in manufacturing, Sky Gold is nimbly redirecting those resources towards brand building, retail expansion, and even strategic acquisitions.
That's pretty clever, but it also raises the question we touched on earlier.
Yeah.
How do they maintain quality and consistency when they're not directly controlling the manufacturing process?
It's a valid concern,
Yeah.
but they seem to have a robust system in place.
Okay.
Remember that network of carefully vetted partners?
Yeah.
They're not just picking names out of a hat. These are established manufacturers who meet Sky Gold's strict standards.
So they're essentially extending their quality control beyond the walls of their own factories.
Precisely. They're meticulously monitoring each step of the process, ensuring every piece that carries the Sky Gold name lives up to their reputation.
I see.
It's a delicate balancing act, but so far they seem to be pulling it off.
Okay, that makes you feel more confident about their approach. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Their ambitious expansion plans, particularly into those competitive international markets.
Yes. Their foray into the Middle East and Southeast Asia.
Right.
This is where things get really interesting.
I imagine.
These are markets with vastly different tastes and preferences compared to India.
Yeah, so how can they possibly replicate their success in such different cultural landscapes?
This is where their design agility becomes crucial. Remember, their tagline is Global expertise, regional designs.
Right?
They've proven they can adapt their designs to cater to local tastes.
Yeah.
And that ability will be key to winning over those new customers.
So they're not just exporting Indian jewelry.
Yep.
They're exporting a brand, an experience, a philosophy
Uh-huh.
tailored to each specific market.
You got it. They're blending global quality standards with an acute understanding of local sensibilities,
Wow.
creating a unique appeal that transcends borders.
That's fascinating. It's like they're building a global brand, but with a hyper-local approach.
Hmm.
But even with their clever strategies and adaptable designs, scaling this quickly has got to come with challenges.
Of course, there's always a flip side. Maintaining that same level of quality and craftsmanship while ramping up production to hit those ambitious targets is a massive undertaking.
Yeah, and what about those international markets navigating cultural nuances,
Oh, yeah.
understanding consumer preferences, and dealing
Yeah.
with different regulatory environments?
Yeah.
That's got to be incredibly complex.
Absolutely. What works in one market might not work in another. They'll need to constantly adapt their designs, marketing strategies, even their retail experience to succeed.
It sounds like they're trying to juggle a lot of moving pieces while sprinting towards the finish line. Ambitious, absolutely risky, definitely. But what happens if they pull it off?
Then the rewards could be huge. Successfully scaling a business like this requires meticulous planning, a deep understanding of their market, and a healthy dose of calculated risk-taking.
And from what we've seen, it seems like they've got a pretty good handle on all three.
Yeah.
But let's not forget the most crucial element in all of this, the people.
The human element. It often gets overlooked in these discussions about growth and expansion.
You're right. Sky Gold's success so far has been driven by their skilled artisans, creative designers, and passionate sales teams.
Absolutely.
As they scale, they can't just focus on expanding their physical presence.
Yeah.
They need to nurture their human capital, too.
Exactly. Attracting and retaining top talent, fostering a culture of innovation and collaboration, empowering their employees to take ownership. That's what will set them apart.
Especially in a competitive industry like this one, where skilled craftspeople are in high demand.
Oh, yeah.
How does Sky Gold plan to navigate that challenge?
Well, one thing we see in their materials is their emphasis on training and development.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
They've invested heavily in upskilling their workforce,
Makes sense.
particularly those artisans who are so crucial to maintaining that Sky Gold touch.
It's a smart move as they expand. They're not just looking for more hands.
Right.
They're cultivating talent, ensuring their workforce can handle the increased complexity and maintain those high standards of craftsmanship.
Exactly. And it's not just about technical skills. They're also fostering a culture of innovation and collaboration.
I like that.
They've created these internal platforms where employees can share ideas,
Oh, cool.
learn from each other, and contribute to the overall growth of the company.
That's fantastic. It's like they're turning their entire workforce into a think tank,
Yeah.
leveraging the collective knowledge and creativity of their employees to stay ahead of the curve.
And that brings us back to the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
Can Sky Gold maintain its commitment to quality and craftsmanship as it scales?
Well, after looking at everything they're doing, I'm feeling pretty optimistic. I mean, they're not just throwing money at the problem. They're being strategic,
Right.
thoughtful, and most importantly, they're putting their people first.
I agree. They're clearly aware of the potential pitfalls of rapid growth.
Right.
And they're taking proactive steps to mitigate those risks. Their focus on quality control, brand consistency, and talent development is impressive.
Yeah. It's also inspiring to see their commitment to financial prudence. They're taking calculated risks, but they're also managing their debt responsibly and making smart financial decisions to ensure sustainable growth.
It's a balancing act, and so far they're walking that tightrope with confidence. They're not afraid to make bold moves, but they're also not reckless.
It's a fascinating story, really. A company with deep roots in tradition,
Yeah.
embracing innovation and taking on the world. It'll be exciting to see what the next chapter holds for Sky Gold.
Indeed, this deep dive has given us a glimpse into a company that's not just riding the wave of a changing market,
Right.
but actively shaping it. They've got ambition, strategy, and a strong foundation.
Yeah.
All the ingredients for a success story.
So there you have it. We've gone from their record-breaking financials to their strategic acquisitions.
Yeah.
From their unique manufacturing strategy to their ambitious expansion plans. And through it all, we've seen a company that's determined to grow, but not at the expense of its core values.
As always, the true measure of success will be in the execution. But from what we've seen today, Sky Gold has a bright future ahead.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into Sky Gold Ltd. We hope you found this exploration insightful and maybe even a little inspiring.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep into the world around you.